Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on First Ball. For today's preview, as England take on Australia in the Autumn Nations Series, the last game of what is pretty much a Super Saturday, with the Springboks versus Scotland, Italy versus Argentina, and Ireland versus New Zealand, all preceding what will be this final clash at Twickenham. And obviously always quite a bit of an extra bite when it comes to Australia versus England matches, especially with Eddie Jones being at the helm of the England side. And we sort of talked up the match quite a lot, saying, Australians have quite a lot of very much an inferiority complex when it comes to playing against England. So there's always that sort of extra sort of added sort of rivalry to it, and should be a very, very good game. And a couple of very interesting selections from both sides. Australia having gone down last weekend against Scotland, probably not the result they would have expected, but very much an Australian team with a lot of confidence, even with that loss after having beaten the Springboks, and definitely sort of building themselves into what is a very exciting team. And for England, Eddie Jones sort of definitely tested a couple of things. We've seen a couple of interesting selections. Unfortunately, a positive COVID case has also had to change a few plans, but also going with a 6-2 split, which is quite interesting from Eddie Jones. Before we look at the two teams, please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. We will be live for this game. We're going to be live for all the games tomorrow, except for the Italy-Argentina game, obviously, because it's the same time as the Springbok game. But so in terms of the teams, and there was a late change. No ELLIS GENGE for this weekend. He has tested positive for COVID-19 and is currently isolating. Same problem as Joe Marler, who's also tested positive earlier this week and is not available for selection. As a result of that, Bevan Rod, who comes into the starting lineup and who's uncapped, and as a result of that, Trevor Davidson's had to come onto the bench. But the rest of the team is as it was supposed to be. Jamie George and at hooker, and Carl Sinclair at tight head. Some very, very good players to be next to the likes of Rod for his debut. The All Lions second row of Maury Toje and Johnny Hill. I think the second row, that's a very, very strong England pack, and those two definitely are sort of forming quite a prolific partnership. A very, very interesting loose trio. Now, Courtney Laws is making himself completely undroppable. He is just in the form of his life, playing so well on the flank at the moment. And as a result, they've actually had to sort of change things around, which means that Tom Curry, who is not an out number 8, will start at 8th man, despite there being 2 8th men actually on the bench for England. And then we've got Sam Underhill on the flank as well. As a Springbok fan, I just look at the sort of loose trio and I just can't wait till next weekend, because I think it's going to be the best sort of battle of the entire match. It's going to be sort of this loose trio battle. The halfback combination, though, very, very exciting. Ben Youngs has partnered with Marcus Smith, who will be playing against his first Tier 1 nation since making his England debut earlier this year. It's been a bit of a whirlwind a couple of months for Marcus Smith, making his England debut, then suddenly being called to the British and Irish Lions as a very late injury replacement, getting to play against the Stormers, looking really good there. Back in the Premiership, looking really solid. Playing well for England, now being back to start at fly half against Australia. It's, the biggest match of his life so far, and for such a prodigious talent, I think we really are going to see him take it up to the next level, and he will have a wealth of experience as Owen Farrell makes his 100th Test cap appearance this weekend. It was technically supposed to be his 101st, but they officially confirmed that the British and Irish Lions versus Japan Test earlier this year will not be given Test match status, at least for the British and Irish Lions players. So as a result, Owen Farrell will in fact become a Test match centurion this weekend with his appearance against Australia. And next to him, he has the likes of Colin Slade. Now, the wings are very interesting. Obviously, the speedster Johnny May in the number 11, but Maury Tuilagi, no space for him out the centre. Henry Slade, the man there. So he will start at wing, which is very interesting. And Eddie Joe's talking about the fact that it's very much a backline that can move around and they can sort of adapt, and that sort of was why they can go with this sort of 6-2 split, because they've got a very flexible backline. And then Freddie Stewart starting at full back. Off the bench for England, Jamie Blamier, as I said, Davidson there, and then Will Stewart as the front row replacement. Then you got Charlie Ewells, the very exciting Alex Dombrant, and then Sam Simmons, who has taken a long time to sort of get his way into the England camp. Still not quite sort of managing to push his way into the starting lineup, but a very good cameo will stand him in very good stead to try and maybe sort of keep himself in the 23 for the big game against Springboks next weekend. Elsewhere, they've got Rafi Quirk and then Max Mellons completing the rest of the side. For the Australians, Michael Hooper obviously captaining the side. A couple of interesting selections as well, which sees James Slipper starting at tight head, Angus Bell starting at loose head, and then you got Folau Fainga in the middle there. So very, very much a very experienced front row, and I'm very interested to sort of see how James Slipper goes at tight head. I think it's quite a big call. And then in the second row, Roy Arnold partners Isaac Roddick. I've been quite impressed with him this year. I think he's had a couple of slow games, but once he sort of gained a momentum, I think he's been quite impressive. I thought he had quite very good games up against the Springboks. The loose trio, it's a very good loose trio. Next to it in around Michael Hooper, he's got Rob Liotta and Rob Valentini, who's obviously a very confrontational player, likes to carry the ball. And Michael Hooper has probably been one of the most informed players in the world this year. He just doesn't seem to ever play badly at the moment. He's just such a consistent performer for the Australians, and whenever they play well, whenever they get good results, he's usually sort of close to man of the match candidates because he is that important. Someone who's sort of growing leap and bounds and becoming undroppable is scrum half Nick White, who partners James O'Connor in the halfback pairing. So I think that's going to be a very interesting battle between Ben Youngs, Marcus Smith, Nick White, and James O'Connor. On the wings, Tom Wright and Andrew Kellaway will be the two speedsters. At the back, Kurtley Beale, a lot of experience, a lot of X-factor, and a lot of attacking nature there. And then in the centres, Hunter Basami and Len Ikitau will be sort of the muscle in the midfield. Off the bench for the Australians, Tony Latu, Tom Robertson, and Oliver Hoskins will provide front row cover. Elsewhere, Will Skelton and Pete Samu will be cover the rest of the scrum. And then you've got the likes of the exciting Tate McDermott, Noah Lesio, and Isaiah Perezi. And I'm a big fan of Lesio. I think he's going to grow into a very, very good player. Maybe not quite there yet, needs a little bit more experience, but has a very exciting future. But let me know what your score predictions are for this match down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. We will be live for this game, so I'll see you guys tomorrow for it. And thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon.